Man, I can't stop talking about Nanotyrannus. Nanotyrannus is probably one of my favorite dinosaurs because it's not just because it lived alongside with Tyrannosaurus. It's because, now we know that, confirmed now that it is a relative to Dryptosaurus. So, a Dryptosaur relative living with Tyrannosaurus Rex, that's pretty damn awesome, if you ask me. But, yeah, like, Nanotyrannus, as I said before, 6 years, for 6 years, I gave up at the time and, accepted that it was a juvenile Tyrannosaurus. But I noticed that, like, wouldn't something hunt juvenile Tyrannosaurs? Okay, Dakota Raptor. Well, guess what? Dakota Raptor's invalid now. So what the hell would hunt a young Tyrannosaurus? Acroraptor? Too tiny to kill. Well, too less of a threat for a juvenile Tyrannosaurus, except for if it was a hatchling or something. But, or maybe like a toddler hatchling or whatever. But something would hunt a juvenile Tyrannosaurus. Obviously, besides another Rex, but there's other competition. Well, what about Nanotyrannus? Then it happened. It happened. For a long time, I was thinking that, like, there's something out there in the Hell Creek we just haven't discovered yet. Maybe someday we'll find the real Nanotyrannus, quote unquote, technically speaking. But Bloody Mary. I'm glad that that paleontologist, what's her name, completed digging the fossil and not naming, suggesting that it was 20 years old, which is interesting. A 20-year-old small relative, of T-Rex, not a juvenile, but a relative. Pretty damn interesting, And yeah, I do believe that a juvenile Tyrannosaurus's nightmare would be Nanotyrannus. Now, what does this make for juvenile Tyrannosaurs? Like, would the juveniles still be with the parents or one parent? Or would they still be by themselves competing with Nanotyrannus? Let me know in the comments, because, Nanotyrannus would have to hunt young Tyrannosaurs. Another thing, too, is that since we knew that the Bloody Mary hunted the Triceratops, would a gang, or technically speaking a pair, maybe gang, of Nanotyrannus hunt an Edmontosaurus? Well, obviously a full-grown Edmontosaurus is too much for a gang of, or a single Nanotyrannus. But would a group of them? Absolutely. I could see why not. Or not really a group, but a gang. I could see it taking down an Edmontosaurus. They would start to harass the animal. They would grab the animal by its flanks, maybe grab it by the tail, maybe one grabs it by the throat, and they, one by one, they pin it down to the ground and they rip it apart. And also, since it's a Dryptosaur relative, Nanotyrannus also had long arms, so it could probably just rip or like hold on to the Hadros or Edmontosaurus and pin it to the ground. I wouldn't see why not. But yeah, man, let me know in the comments of Nanotyrannus, because like Nanotyrannus is awesome. You know, it's awesome. What else is there? I also will do someday like top favorite Nanotyrannus designs, maybe figures or something like that, because like I have a lot of say of Nanotyrannus, a lot. You know, it's crazy. You know, of this animal. Thank God it's real. I thought I thought that the last year paper was fake, and yeah, it technically was fake, but this year's paper of it, yeah, and it's probably the best scientific paper of 2025, and yeah, best paper ever. But yeah, let me know in the comments.